Alrighty, welcome in NRL Picks and Preview. We are with you once again on what was a massive weekend of rugby league. Magic round in the books. We are just recovering from it. Jordan Hughes with you alongside...
Dun, 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 me King!
You know, that's really become like your theme song, hasn't it?
That is, man.
Yeah.
I heard it once. I
Yeah.
like it. Let's roll with it.
Let's roll with it.
Geordie,
Yes.
how are you, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Happy birthday to
Thank you,
It's your
brother.
birthday, eh? Tuesday.
It was Tuesday, yeah.
Fuck, happy birthday. Happy birthday, my guy.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
28.
Yes, sir. -2.
Hey.
Cool. All right, let's get into Magic Round. Quick little recap, mate. It was a hell of a round. Hell of a upsets as well. The tipping front wasn't great for me. 2 from 8. You? 5 from 8. But we went well. We
We'll
found
take
plenty of try scorers for the people.
We did find try scores and a lot of like margin lines.
Yeah, facts. So, yeah, well done from you. Magic Round?
Thank you, sir. Magic round, that was a great way. Shit finish. Great weekend.
Yeah, okay.
How about you? How'd you find it?
I enjoyed it. So what was your good, bad, and ugly, mate?
Here we go. The most impressive was the way Penrith handled the Broncos at home. What was it, 30-6?
Cleary?
Cleary's back in action. Your man, you called it. Underdog try scorer.
Yeah.
He scored.
I loved it. For me I did like to see the Raiders win. I like to see the Raiders go well. And it was a hell of a game to finish. Obviously, we were on the Storm, which sucked, but they're going all right, aren't they?
They are. They're looking good. Playing really well as a team. Let me tell you what disappointed me. Exactly what you liked. What was really disappointing for it was the refs for me, actually.
Yeah, okay.
They were up. Storm were up 6-0 with 5 minutes to go. They kick a drop goal, and there's 2 offensive penalties against the Storm. And one of them I didn't even know what it was for.
Half the time you don't. It's just, yeah.
It was just shocking. That shouldn't have happened, but it did.
Another thing you probably wouldn't see in your world, but for me, Sean Johnson on Fox Sports lately, have you seen some of the clips? He's absolutely flying, mate. He's such a good analyst, and he's
Is
so
he?
funny, yeah.
I think he's got his own potty now as well.
Yeah, he's crushing it. Old
Nice.
Shawnee.
We better get him back.
I agree.
He's probably got a better step than him.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, facts. What was your bad? What got you really down, mate?
No, that was it. The refs
Oh.
calls in the Storm. It was such a clinical game. 1-12, looking good. It was such a competitive, well-placed game. And then some great individual brilliance from KO Weeks out the back there.
Mate, he's looking real sharp. Bad for men. We can talk about it, but mate, the Gold Coast Titans. What's going on? Fafita's gone. Des Hasler's not far behind.
We don't even need to talk about it. We've talked about it for the last 7 years.
But we live in this city, mate. What's going on?
What's going on is this weekend there's a change coming for the Titans.
Okay.
I tell you, I've done my study.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, and then finally, sorry, before we get into our round 10 picks and preview, breaking news today, you might have seen, we have our 18th franchise coming in, the Perth Bears, back in business 2027, I believe.
Bit wild, actually.
Yeah, thoughts?
I'm
Out west.
I'm not too keen on Penrith. I think we do need more teams in Queensland. What do we got, 2 or 3 here?
But they're trying to be a national footprint, mate, you know?
Have you seen the flight to Perth?
Yeah, it's about 6 hours.
5.5, 6 hours. I went to Fiji. It was cheaper.
Yeah.
So you might as well just go to Fiji.
Okay.
And there's not much out in Perth. If you're from Perth, you probably suck and you just play cricket.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Joe, sorry.
Oh, true.
Anyway, what are your thoughts
So
on it?
not keen?
Not keen on Perth. I'm
Okay.
keen on Queensland, man.
Right,
This is where we are.
Are you more excited about the Bears or PNG? Sure, it's better than PNG.
Yeah, I'll just cut them both, mate.
I don't like it.
Let's get some Queenslanders up there. We've got 3 teams up here with phenomenal football talent. We've got 15 teams down
Do you want
in New
more
South Wales.
up north?
Yeah, more up north. That's where all the good players are because we send them straight down anyway.
There we go.
We've got beasts like us sitting on the sidelines.
So here we go, Perth Bears, your newest fan, right here. Let's talk about NRL picks and preview. Round 10, ready to roll tonight. The Eels and the Dolphins. Both sides coming off losses in round 9. $1.73 power, the Dolphins $2.10. The Lions 2.5, Riggs.
Yeah, the Eels are finally getting off the bottom. I think with Mitch Moses, they're finding some form. I still like the Fox out the left edge and just waiting on Zach Lomax to come back into the squad, I reckon.
And as we were both on the Dolphins last week, man, they were poor. They just, against the Trooks.
Yeah, they were. That was out on the fence game. And the hammer got over twice for us.
He did, yeah.
So that was some good positive. And plus, when we're talking about the Roosters, it's always a mixed bag of jelly beans, whatever it is.
It is. So the Dolphins have lost their last 8 interstate games. Not good away from home. Para have covered the last 4 following a loss. Fido, as you said, scored his last 4 of 5. And Jack Bostock has scored his last 3 when he's played in Sydney.
Beauty. So what I like around here is just Mitch Moses back. They're at Combank, yeah?
Yes, sir.
So he usually turns up there. I'm looking at the Fox out that left edge. He's their striker. I think he's scoring a try. But for me, I'm sitting on the fence for this one, and I'm leaning on the Dolphins for a close one, 1-12.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, I actually agree. I obviously got a soft spot for the Dolphins, so I reckon they bounce back here.
You do, but we're both back in the Dolphins.
I reckon they bounce back, and I like Bostock for a try as well. So yeah, that should be a close one. I agree, 1-12, definitely.
Beauty, 1-12. I've gone the Fox. You've gone Bostock.
There we go. Let's see how it pans out. The Dolphins for us. Let's go now to the Knights and the Titans. $1.48. The Knights, $2.65. The Titans, 6.5 is your number. As we mentioned, it's turmoil at the coast at the moment.
It is, but so for the Knights, they only just got their win last week against a depleted Rabbits team. Like I said, we've been waiting for Saifidi, Dylan Lucas, and Frizzell, just those big boppers in the forwards. But with the Titans, there's a few men back on board. Young Jaden Campbell, he's
7?
back in action. Yeah, he's back.
Yep.
Him and Brimmer on the halves. So I'm excited for that.
So a couple of stats for you. The home team has covered the last 15 matches between these two, which is the Knights in this fixture. The Knights have won their last 7 home games versus the Gold Coast Titans. On the try scoring front, Philip Sami and your man Bo Firma has scored in his last 7 matches between those two. And Ponga has scored in his last 4 against the Gold Coast Titans as well.
We need some form from Ponga because he's not playing too well at the
No.
moment. Look, I went last time to watch the Titans beat the Knights at home, and I was so disappointed in the Knights. But there's a few things I want to look out for. I think the Titans' forward pack is stronger than the Knights. You've got Big Mo up front, Campbell and Big Tino.
Yep.
They're just too strong in the forwards. Last time I watched them, they blew them out the park. So I'm actually looking for a bit of an upset here, and I think with the Titans, they'll be bombing to that right wing, which is the left wing, which is Greg Marju.
Oh, Marju.
So I think Jojo's going to get up over him over there.
Okay, there we go. I like the Titans. Look at that. The one time you actually backed them. That's dangerous.
I like the Titans. I was just at that game live, and I just really didn't like the forwards of the Knights versus the Titans.
Okay, there we go. I'm going to go the other way. As you know, I just bet on the Titans and I just lose time and time again, so I'm going to stop doing it. So I'm going to go the Knights here just because those stats do suggest they are strong at home against the Titans. I think maybe some momentum after winning last week. I'll go Ponga for a big occasion, and I reckon he scores as well.
Beauty, I like that. I'm going to name 3 try scorers here. I reckon it's Sharp, Best for the Knights, and Jojo Fafita for Titans.
There we go. There's some money for the people. Sharp, Best, and Jojo Fafita cashing in for the Regs. Let's go now to South Sydney Rabbitohs, $3.75. The Broncos, $1.28. Your number is 10.5. Souths have lost their last 9 versus teams above them on the ladder. Latrell Mitchell scored his last 5 versus the Broncos, and Jai Gray has scored his last 3 or 4 at a core stadium. Both sides of a loss, Regan.
And here we go with Jai Gray's actually on the bench. Latrell's a fullback. Arms Humphreys is back.
He's back, good.
So I'm keen to watch him link up with Latrell Mitchell.
Yep.
On the other edge, that Broncos, they were shit house last week.
Very bad.
And I'm looking at their ruck speed's just way too fast for the Rabbits.
So you reckon Broncos way too good here?
Their ruck speed's way too fast. I think they are way too good here. Look out for Adam Reynolds against his old club. I reckon he's in for a sneaky try. If they're rolling them through the ruck, he'll get a sneaky try. And I'm looking at the Broncos traffic all day.
Yeah, there we go. I just think the Broncos are too classy to lose 2 in a row here, even though it is in Sydney. But I'll go the Broncos to win. I'll go Latrell to score. And look for Arthurs again out wide. He's always a threat.
Yeah, beauty. I've got Arthurs and Broncos at a minus 8.5.
There we go. Broncos too good for us in that matchup. Now we go to what is the game of the round for me. It's sold out at GIO Stadium in Canberra. It's the Canberra Raiders, $1.78. The Bulldogs, $2.05. The Lions, 2.5. This is going to be good.
This is the game of the round for me, game of the week. I'm excited for both teams. Raiders in great form, and so are the Bulldogs.
Absolutely. A couple of stats for you. Canberra have covered the last 6 versus teams above them on the ladder. Crichton has scored in his last 5 games versus the Raiders, and Sebastian Chris scored in his last 4 when the Raiders have been a favourite.
Beauty. Look, I reckon there's going to be a weak edge out there with Tomoko's side. So I'm going to look at Bronson Cherry running out that side. It's either going to be Cherry or Montoya for me.
Yeah, Cherry's cashed for you a few times this year, right?
He has. He only missed out 1, and it was counted but not counted last week. And what about the last week when Kiraz scored 3 from Crichton?
Is he a bit of a bolter too for Origin?
Yeah, he is.
I reckon.
I'm hoping he's not, so I'm putting him in my super coach.
Okay, there we go. Who wins it, my friend?
Look, I'm sitting on the fence here. It's going to be tough to go down to Raiders and beat them at
It's
home.
getting cold too down there.
For sure.
And chilly.
And the doggies ain't used to that.
No.
But I am going to lean with the doggies here with a close one, 1-12. And it says Kiraz for some meat.
Yeah, I love that. I reckon I'm going the other way. I'm going the home side here, the Raiders to get it done. Big crowd. I hope they'll get them home for me, the Canberra Raiders. Ricky's men, too good. I'll take them minus the 2.5 as well. Crichton and Chris for try scorers.
Beauty. I'm not disappointed whoever wins here. I'm excited.
Yep, absolutely. Now let's go to the St. George Dragons, $2.15 at home against the Warriors, $1.70. The Lions, 2.5. The Wires are, mate, they're top 2.
The Wires are flying, aren't they?
Top 2, lads?
I don't know. Up there. They're definitely top 3.
Mate.
What about King Togia for Dragons? He's the number 7. He's only that 19-year-old we were talking about last week. He got maybe 2 or 3 tries this last week. He was pretty good. I was impressed.
Yeah, young fella going good. New Zealand have won the last 7 night games. They also covered the last 6 of 7. Metcalf, who a man you love, has scored in his last 4 when playing in Australia. And Gutho scored in his last 4 home games versus the Warriors.
Beautiful. And a one big in for the Warriors is DWZ is back on the wing.
Dallin with Denny.
He usually plays right. I don't know if Taney and him are going to switch around, but I'm excited to see him back. And
Okay.
even Sheck in the reserve. So we've got 2 good wingers there, bound to come back, hopefully.
How do you see it playing out?
Look, I think they're very similar teams. I think the Wars with consistency, they've just been too good. Too good to fault at the moment. I don't even know how they score their tries. I think it's their 2 halves, Metcalf and Chanel Harris. They just play with grit. So I'm looking at, if there's 2 try scorers for me, I'm picking Holmes for St. George. That's where they strike. And I'm looking at Metcalf for a try for me. He scores every week. And I'm leaning on the Wars with a tight one, 1-12.
Yeah, I think it's a tight one, and I'm just because the Dragons are at home, a home side getting points, I'll go the Dragons to win.
Nice. We've split.
Well, yeah, we are split.
2 or something like that. 2 or
We'll
3.
see, yeah, we'll see how we go. The Dragons are due for a winner. I thought they'd get it done last week against the Tigers, but maybe this is their week. At home, getting points. I'll take the 2.5 with the Dragons on that play. Now the Cowboys and the Panthers up north in Townsville. $2.35 the Cowboys, $1.60 the Panthers. 4.5 your number. Both sides finding some form.
I'm excited for this. It's Cowboys in fantastic form. Penrith are still trying to look for their form.
Yeah.
But there's a few big ins for the Penrith. You've got Mitch Kenny back in the hooker and Brian To'o.
Yes. Speaking of that man, To'o scored in his last 6 games versus the Cowboys.
Well, there you go. Line them up for 7.
Line them up, baby.
Line them up. I'm enjoying the Cows footy. Like we said last week on that left edge, Purdue and Taulagi. I think Purdue's scoring a try. Look out for Penrith with Cleary a little chip over for Tungor. That's worked in the last 2-3 games.
On Taulagi, he scored in his last 6 games. But the Panthers have lost their last 5 or 6 as a favourite, and they failed to cover the last 4 games at Queensland Country Bank Stadium up in Townsville. I'll get in first here, my friend. I'll go the Cowboys to win here. I'll let Cowboys to do a job. Bounce back after last week. Panthers, they're good. They can find their form, but the Cowboys are home for me.
I can't believe we're talking about Penrith like this, like they're not in the top 4. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
But I've backed you. I've joined you.
Okay.
I think it's going to be harder for the Penrith to go up there to beat an informed Cowboys. So I've gone with Cowboys too good here, 1-12. Try scorers, I'm looking at Purdue, Tungor, and To'o.
There we go. Another one of roughie try score, Jerome Nanai. I think he always finds a try around the base.
He does,
of the
man. You're coming around the origin time, he'll find one.
Yeah, so there we go. The Cowboys to win. The Cowboys plus the 4.5 for me. Let's see how that one pans out. Now we go to some Sunday footy. Head down to Melbourne. The Melbourne's... That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Melbourne Storm $1.20. The West Tigers $4.60. The Lions 15.5. The Storm off a loss, my friend.
My friend.
Gross.
Here we go. The Storm versus the Tigers. The strike is... Oh, you're distracting me.
Wait. Come on, break it down. Shit.
All right. For me, I'm looking at the Storm. They're ready to hit back. And I think this is just too much for the Tigers to take down.
So the Melbourne Storm won their last 17 games after a loss. Bellamy always gets them fired up. 6 of 7 Melbourne home games have gone over the total points, which is 51.5. I reckon it's going to be a bit of a shootout. And here's one for you, my friend. I've crunched some numbers here. So the Melbourne Storm have scored 31 or more in the last 7 home matches at Amy Park. So, 7-day matches. So I love to play under the sun at Amy Park. So a couple of bets to go with that before we get into our picks. Melbourne Storm to score between 31 and 40 points, paying $3.15. The Storm to score over 5.5 tries, $1.73. And then you can do some exacta tries. You think the Storm are going to score 4 tries, $5.75. If you're going to score 5 tries, that's $5. So
what about 6 tries?
They're even more. So
I'd love it. I'd jump on the 5 and the 6 tries for Storm.
Yeah,
Because they can score some meat.
I love between that 31 and 40 points, $3.15. So
That's beauty.
that's some extra
Got
juice
some
for
good
you.
value there. Thank
there
you,
you go.
everyone, for the punters out there.
No worries.
I'm actually going to look at that myself.
You should do that.
Look, I'm looking at the Storm. They've just got a faster ruck speed. I hope they come back and they actually deliver a good performance. They have nasty set players with Hughes, Katoa, and Pappenhausen out the back. Pappenhausen's a certain try scorer for me. And look for along out that right edge as well, because that's the way they like to run their
I like
shape.
that. And on that same vein, Xavier Coates scored his last 4 at home. And then on the other side of the Tigers, your man Tuanuva scored his last 6 away games. So he can find the paint.
I really like Tuanuva and Buller for my try scorers, but against the Melbourne Storm, I'm going to leave them out this week. Storm too good for me, minus 7.5, and Pappy to score.
There we go. For me, so I go Storm to win. Storm to win 13 plus. Take the over 51.5. Melbourne points between 31 and 40. Coates to score. Tuanuva to score.
You've nailed it. What's that? $42
Yeah, just load that up. But
Clean.
obviously gamble responsibly. Thank you. All right, our final game of the round is an absolute cracker. Manly versus the Sharkies. $1.68 Manly, $2.20 the Sharks, 2.5 your number. This one is at 4 Pines Park in Manly.
Yeah, this match always falls on either side of the fence as well. Manly either win by 1-12 or the Sharks always take the win 1-12. There's a few men back for Manly. You've got Tommy Turbo playing. His brother Jake is back. Saab's back on the wing, and Jake Simpkin in the hooker.
Yes, that is correct. Manly have failed to cover the last 6. They have been scraping their way through the Sharks, so they've won the last 4 away games. First, the Manly Seagulls. Saab has scored in his last 8 or 9, and Iro scored in his last 5 matches as well.
Beautiful. Look for Iro for a sneaky first try scorer. He's done it for me about 2 or 3 times this year already. He just come back last week and he scored a try. So look out for him. They've got some danger out there with Stone Street on that right wing. Score a couple of meat pies. And for me with the Manly, I'm looking at Garrick and Saab possibly for my try scorers.
I like that. Okay. For me, I like your Saab and Iro for a try as well.
Beauty. We're both on that.
This is really pick him. Who are you going?
Look, Manly at home looks like the very right choice. But I think this is going to be an upset for me. I'm looking at the Sharks to win 1-12 and Sharks by 2 exactly.
Mate, I'm going to join you.
Oh, we've backed each other on these roughies.
Yeah, at the moment they're really finding some form. I like Nico Heights. He's going all right at the moment. And that record, those stats suggest the Sharks will do a job. The only thing that scares me is they've got your man at fullback, Tommy Turbo.
I'm scared of him.
At
I
home
love
too.
him,
I know you do.
Tommy at home, Cherry Evans at home.
Yeah.
They do have the charisma to get it done now.
But we're going to go Sharks.
Beauty. Isn't Aiden Fanua an ex-Manly as well? Because he went from there Warriors back to the Sharks. So he's versing his old crew.
There we go. Okay, but we think the Sharks to win in a close one to wrap up round 10. Let's go to the Kings' best bets of the weekend.
Best bet. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7-leg bet right
All
here.
right, get your notebook out, fellas.
So I've got Addo Carr to score some meat. I've got the Titans with a plus 13.5 handicap. That's $1.41 as it is.
Yep.
Broncos at a minus 5.5.
Mm-hmm.
The Dogs to win 1-12. The Warriors just to win. Storm and Pap. That's a 7-leg multi. I'm looking juicy. $33 odds. $100 on that. 3.3. You'll see us post it on Tuesday.
Wow, that's good.
We're doing that.
That's really nice. I like
doing
that. That's a good one. For me, my best bet's how I see it playing out. Raiders, Cowboys, Storm 13+, and the over 51.5 for the Melbourne and the Tigers matchup. That is my 4-legger for you.
Clean, safe, and about $6.75.
But the issue is for that, I hate when we do this because we both can't win. Because you're on the Dogs, I've got the Raiders.
One of us will win, one of us will lose. Put 10 or 20 on whoever you think. Back us, and we'll back you.
Oh, good chat. Oh, I like that. There we go. So there is round 10 in the books. Plenty of juice there. Plenty of bets for you. Last week had some good success on the TikTok as well. Couple of new. Last week, one of our most viewed shows ever, which was good.
Lovely. Thanks everyone for joining.
We're trending in the right direction. Let's
keep them rolling. Keep these wins going. Anything exciting for this weekend for you?
Back to the grind, mate. Just a bit of footy.
It feels like that these months. We're just back to the grind.
We like it.
Win some bets. I'm going to win some big ones this week. Back me, follow me. We're rolling.
There we go. He's fired up.
Rolling.
Throw us out, my friend.
All right, guys. That's Geordie. I'm King. We're Media Vintage. See you next week.